What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Thoughts of the Pugilist podcast. I'm your host, Fuad Bayzid, and today's guest is the one and only Jono King Kong Carroll. He will be fighting December 11th in Dubai. How you feeling, my man?
It's a pleasure to join you, lads. Thank you for having me.
It's an honor to have you on, brother.
My man. My man.
My first question is, that beard, what did you do to have such an amazing beard?
I don't know, mate. But you know what I need to do, though? I need to bring out some beard oil or something, because everyone always asks me all these questions. I genuinely don't know. I was just born this way. But I need to bring a beard oil out and say, this is the reason I got this beard. Because everyone asks, I'd make a fortune. I'd be rich by now. You could already be retired from boxing.
Oh, man. I'd be the first one in line buying your beard oil.
Thank you, my brother. I'll be making sure to send you a free one. Don't worry.
I appreciate it. I'm trying my best. I'm trying really, really hard. I don't have the Irish genetics like you.
Mate, from 15, it was a nightmare. My dad used to always be running amok because I used to be in robbing his razors, trying to shave all the time. I used to be blunting his razors. It's like they'd last him a week and that was it. You know what I mean? So I was costing him a fortune real young. So I knew I had to go over it.
So you had that beard at 15?
Yeah, bro. No, I didn't have this beard at 15, but I had the same growth, the same, like, I could have had this beard at 15, but I just used to shave all the time. I don't even know why I used to shave. I used to look way worse with no hair on my face. I look way better now. I'm like a fine wine, bro. I age good.
Better with age.
Yeah,
amazing.
Exactly.
Well, since we're talking about beards, who's got the second best beard in boxing? Because I know you have the best beard in boxing.
The second best beard in boxing? I don't know. Because like when you're so far above everybody else, you don't worry about number two. I genuinely don't know, pal. Like, I don't know. I can't even think of someone off the top of my head.
I mean, I looked at a few. Tyson Fury's got. I mean, nothing like you, obviously, but he's got.
No, mate, come on. Tyson Fury, I don't even like the color of it. Like, nah, don't even start comparing me to Tyson Fury's beard. Fuck off.
Okay. Oh man. Okay. Well, I can't.
Do you know whose beard is like Conor Ben? And he'd be delighted I said this, but he got hair transplants in his beard to get a proper beard. There's something I didn't know.
Floyd Mayweather
but I like his beard now, yeah. To get a real beard, he was dying to have a proper beard. You seen mine, he was like, "You motherfucker! I had to get bleeding hair plants just to have a beard like this. I still can't grow that type of beard." So,
I'm almost that desperate too. I'm just about to get as desperate as him and get implants. By the way, Floyd got a beard too. I think he got it implanted too.
There's no comparison. I don't know why. Like, it just doesn't look. It's all like bum fluff. All those people's beards is like bum fluff on their face. Mine's just like Celtic warrior beard. Like, I just like the old Celts. You know what I mean?
That warrior beard.
Yeah, the warrior beard. It's deadly. I love it. And people always try to make me shave it as well when it comes fight time. They want me to trim. I'm like, motherfucker, don't be making me trim my beard just because you can't grow one. You know what I mean? I hate that. Like, don't be envious of me. Jealousy is alright. It just means you want something. But like, if you can't grow, you can't grow it. Just suck it up.
But who tells you to shave it?
Every commission, every fighter always complains about it because they say, "Oh, you can't see his chin, so you can't hit it." All this shit. It's ridiculous, and the commission makes you trim it all the time.
I know Jean Pascal's got a nice beard, and he usually fights with a a pretty thick beard.
Yeah, I always leave mine grow extra long, so then when I take 2 or 3 inches off it, then I say, "Look there, lads, I cut it." But I deliberately do that now because they all complain, so I deliberately let it go all wild, and then come to the fight, I trim it about 2 or 3 inches, and then I'm like, "There you go, I trimmed it." You said trim it, I did trim it. There you go. Still always huge though.
The beard's life not easy, huh?
Look at my weigh-in against Tevin Farmer, and then look at the fight. They put up a big argument over the beard. Yeah, I had to take loads of it off, but I didn't care. I would have shaved my head bald to fight for a world title. I couldn't care less. I would have shaved my eyebrows. Yeah, ass.
Well, let's get into some boxing. Okay, yeah, I'll ask away. Well, basically, I was just gonna get into the fact that you didn't really box any journeymen early on in your career. Was that intentional?
No, I was always brought in as number two. I was always brought in to be beat, mate. That's why. So I never got the opportunity to fight Journeymen. So I was
Wow.
just, yeah, like I started boxing at 15. I started quite late, and then I just kept overcoming the odds. I kept getting brought in to lose. Like my third fight was against a guy called Declan Gardy from Dublin too, and we were both from Dublin. But I was the underdog against the promotion. Boom, I won him. Then I got the prize fighter, won that 15-1 underdog. I just kept like defeating the odds. You know what I mean? I was never brought in to be. I was never like pushed. You know the way you get some of these people who was a great amateur scene and they get all the breaks and all that type of journeyman stage. I just didn't have that. But
Mm.
at the end of the day, then people look at my record and kind of be like, oh, he has no knockouts, he has no this. And I'm like, yeah, because I wasn't blasting, bleeding bin men out. You know what I mean? I was
Yeah,
fighting
yeah.
fucking my fourth fight. Like, what was it? Stephen Foster. It's like a
Guys that were supposed
European
to beat you.
champion. Yeah, he was meant to win. And then Gary Buckland was a former British champion. Like, he had like 30 fights or something he had. You know what I mean? It was like my fourth, fifth fight. Like, it was mad.
Yeah, that's. I looked through BoxRec and I saw some of the guys that you just weren't supposed to fight at that stage in your career. But I would have never guessed that you were the B side watching you fight now.
Yeah, I know, it's mad. But it's like I remember even when I went to fight those guys, um, the trainer I had at the time, I actually asked him to train me, and he was like, he basically told me no, like, oh no, I have enough people. I was like, all right, like, but he said like, yeah, we can use you for sparring if you want to keep coming and sparring. I was sparring Stephen Ormond at the time. I was like, all right, I'll keep coming. So I kept coming to his gym anyway, and he was just using me for sparring. I was happy. I didn't care. I was like, I was getting experience in here. Stephen was a European champion at the time, so and then I got like calls to fight these guys, and he was just happy to take the blade and the money, I suppose. You know that way, like the off the top. But he at the time, he told me no, he wouldn't train me, and then an opportunity came up to fight Declan Garrity. And then when I won that, it was an opportunity to fight in the prize fighter. So then it was like we just kind of rolled on to the next one. You know what I mean? And it just kept happening, and I won good money. Like so, then he was like, "Oh, okay, I'll train you now," because I was earning and
You just kept beating guys left and right.
beating guys that I wasn't supposed to. You know, I was brought in to be losing, and then I just kept winning. So it was the thing is with me, it was like if I'm gonna be in there, you might be better than me, more skillful, more experienced and all, but I got a lot of heart and spirit, you know that way? Like I put my body through torture because my spirit is so strong. I can just push this physical body through and my mind wants it to do, you know? So when I'm in those fights, I'm not like the thing is I'm already ahead of the game. Like I'm already winning, whether I win, lose, or draw in boxing.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't never supposed to be winning these fights, and I just kept winning. So I was like, "Fuck, I have nothing to lose." Like, so I was just giving it everything, and I was like, "I'm gonna go out on my shield here. If I'm gonna lose, best believe you're gonna earn that win." You know what I mean? Because I'm gonna go hard. I'm gonna fucking do whatever I can to succeed. I got that Irish pride. You know what I mean? I'm not just gonna bend over and let you bash me. You know what I mean? Fuck that. Like we're going to war. If you want to start trying to haunt me or whatever, I'm gonna try box you. If you're a good boxer, I'm gonna bring you into a war. So like, yeah, it's the boxing game, my friend. You know what I mean? I just my whole life I've been fighting to fucking survive. You know what I mean? I had a mad childhood and all. I've had a mad like life in general. Like I lost my mother at 15. I had to fucking do what I had to do to survive in the world. So when these privileged pretty boys are coming up at them all decorated amateurs and this, that, and the other, and they get a lot of nobody's handed to them. They're blasting them out, and the record all looks great. But when it comes against someone like me, who record isn't that great, like I haven't got loads of knockouts, they think, oh, he's not a puncher, he's not. They
And a bad
underestimate the
man.
heart and the determination that I have. You know what I mean? I'm like, listen, if someone's gonna beat me, they're gonna deserve to win. You know that way?
Wow, man, what you're saying just describes who you are as a fighter so much.
Yeah, because like at the end of the day, like I didn't even choose boxing, bro. Boxing chose me. I didn't fucking even want the box. I don't even like boxing, for you honest. Like I do it because I'm good at it and it fucking pays well. You know, I genuinely, man, like boxing was my dad's dream. Like now at the minute, I'm appreciating it and I'm giving it my all. I'm really dedicated and I'm doing what I can do to be a world champion because now that's a goal that I've set out to accomplish. And if I put my mind to something and I want to do it, I can accomplish anything. So with that said, I'm giving it my all. But it never started like that. Like I never like when I won prize fighter, like all what we were speaking about a minute ago with Stephen Foster and a few of them good big names. Man, I was a little stoner at the time. I was just living life as I was a teenager. I didn't give a fuck. I was smoking bongs going into that. When I won them fights, I was coming home buying myself ounces and smoking a load of weed and all. I didn't give a fuck. I didn't care whether I lived or died at that stage of my life. My life was a wreck. Now I'm living good. I have a beautiful family. I've got my life on the straight and narrow. I love life now. I appreciate every single day above ground. It's mad how my life just done a full circle.
Wow, it's amazing to hear these stories. What else did you go through? I mean, you lost your mom, and
I lost my mom in a car crash at 15. And then my dad kind of went down the alcohol route, obviously to cover mask his pain that he was going through at the time. That was his true love, you know what I mean? So I don't hold nothing against him for that. I love the bones of my dad, but he went down a mad route, which at the time, me and him then clashed like crazy. I love the bones of him, we get on great now, but at the time I clashed like crazy because in my eyes it was like, shit, you're supposed to be the dad and be here for us, but instead there was times I was waking up fucking to go to school and he was drunk. You know, I had to drive my little sister to school at 15, drive his 7-seater taxi, dropped her to school a few times. Like, you know, she was only bleeding 11 or something. So at the time, I was thinking, like, you should be fucking stepping up and being a man here. And listen, I don't hold that against him. It is what it is. He was going through a very rough time, but I had that shit on my plate at the time. I started selling loads of weed just to fucking make some money because my dad was drinking all the fucking money and I wasn't. And then I actually moved down my house and I wasn't talking to my dad. I started fighting, doing mad, crazy shit on the streets then to make money. And then I moved in with my grandmother because she always had me back. My nanny's a legend, like she always got me back. So I moved in with her, and yeah, I found my uncle dead then on my 16th birthday. Like, you know, he was like a brother to me. I grew up with the man. Like, found him dead then on my 16th birthday. Like, you know, fucking, and like my life was fucked up at that stage already. It was like 11 months just after my mom died. Before this, I had nobody die in my family or nothing. And then all of a sudden, my uncle died, my mom died, and it was like, but my uncle was like my brother. Like, me and him was like literally like that, bro. You know what I mean? We were brothers. So, and that was on my 16th birthday as well. That was fucked up time.
wow.
And then like it just there was loads of things happening on the streets and all. I was fighting with loads of people. I was like getting into mad shit. Like, because my life was a wreck. Look at what I said earlier. I didn't care whether I lived or died. I was just like a walking wreck, man. Like, fucking happy to just smoke weed and just blank the world almost. You know what I mean? And then I was going through a lot of shit mentally and physically. But boxing, I just boxed because it gave me a break from all this shit. You know what I mean? Like, when I was boxing, I used to feel free from the bullshit that was going on outside the ring. So that's one thing what I'll say about boxing. I find it, as much as I was still on the streets and running amok, boxing saved me a little bit because like I wasn't smoking too much when I had big fights coming up and everything else. And yeah, it put me on a good path. You know what I mean? But then I broke my hand and I was drinking. I turned 18. I was like I was saying, selling loads of weed and all. I fucking moved out. I was just thinking I was a man at this stage. I'd have been like not living at home since I was 15, but I was like selling weed at 15, like, because my nanny was broke. Like, when I say broke, like, you were lucky to get your fucking the bus fare off her, and she'd give you the big coat on her back. You know what I mean? She'd give you everything she could, but she was broke, and then. So we were poor as fuck as well a little bit. Like, but my dad had a little bit of money, but he fucking wouldn't give us any because me and him be fighting like fucking cats and dogs because we were both of our personalities are quite similar, you know. So we were clashing a lot.
If he's anything like you, I bet. I said, if he's anything like you, I bet.
Be like this. He raised me to be this man. You know what I mean? So then when I start like piping up to him and shit and like, you know, talking back, whatever, he couldn't. It was ego thing between both of us. We both had big egos enough at the time, and he was so used to people bowing down to him. But he didn't raise me like that. I didn't bow down to nobody. He was a much bigger man than me at the time. He would have fucked me up. But I didn't bow down to no one. But that was the man that he raised me to be. And now he's super proud of the man that I am. You know what I mean? And I'm super proud of the man that I am too. But
Of course.
at the time, it was just very turbulence. It was a mad fucking situation. And yeah, like, I just had a lot of stuff going on. I was mixing with the wrong crowd on the streets. And that's where I had like 3 assault charges hit me all at once. I was like, I need to get out of here. Like, I was fighting with this big gang of people, and 2 of them are actually locked up for murder now at the minute. And there was like chasing me with knives and shit. And I was fucking battering them with baseball bats. You know, it was just mad shit going on. It was mad shit, bro. It was like my whole life was, my teenage years was hectic, like. But I'm at the coming out on the beautiful side of it all. You know what I mean? It's all
Of
a good
course.
experience. But when I think back on it, I'm like, fucking hell, my life could have went either way. I could have been locked up in prison now, like, because the guys that I was fighting with were like, they were selling a load of shit as well, and they were scumbags. Really, they were robbing people's houses and everything. I remember like I battered one of them with a baseball bat one time. I left him in a bad way, in fairness. I jumped all over his head and all. Shouldn't even be saying any of this. It was a horrible time in my life. But it is what it is. It's my past. I'm proud of my past because it made me who I am today. So I really don't fuck. But it's not a nice time in my life. But I left him in a bad way in a hospital and all, like, but he ratted me out. But I remember the police had to go in and do all. I got questioned on that for him. It was no comment, no comment, no comment. And then when I got out, the policeman, like, this is the copper, said to me, he says, off record, he says, that guy got exactly what was coming. So, bro, I know he did. He got to go.
I love it.
You know what I mean? So even the police was like acknowledging the little shitheads that was around. Like, I was always a nice guy. I'm not gonna lie. I was always a lovely guy. Never bullied anyone. Never done shit. But when you stepped to me, I was a nasty little bastard as well. Like if you had like wanted to cross paths, I could have been nasty. You know that way. Like, but I never wanted to start shit. I was never that type of person. But I was also never bowed down to anybody either.
So that's kind of still how you are right now.
Yeah, I know. But now I just make sure I stay with the right people so I'm not involved in the streets.
No, you gotta get paid for it.
No, I do it. Yeah, like I used to get in trouble in school all the time for like fighting and stuff. And then it's crazy to think how my life, now I'm in Las Vegas getting paid to be here to fight world champions, to punch him in the face. And he's paying me to be in this big, like, amazing hotel and in Las Vegas. I'm getting paid to be here, bro. It's like, it's crazy. I just get paid to put, like, I used to do this shit and get in trouble in school, and now I'm getting paid for it. It's mad.
Now, how was the transition when you first turned professional? Was it uncomfortable for you to be praised for, you know, doing exactly what you would be getting arrested for? You know, I was beating the shit out of somebody.
For anything. I never admitted to anything. I never got a charge in my life, mate.
A true gangster.
I love it.
No comment. But I used to be always like, and the thing is, like, even in school and that, I used to get in trouble for it, but I always had people's back. That was my problem. I always had the wrong friends. And when they were getting in trouble and they were doing shit, I was just there with them. You know what I mean? It was never me. I never once started a fight in my whole entire life. I never started a fight. Well, best believe I finished a fucking lot of them. Like, I'm not proud of that, but I was involved in a lot growing up, a lot of stupid stuff growing up. But just because I mixed with the wrong crowd. My dad used to always say, show me your friends and I'll show you your future. And all. My dad wasn't happy with me at the time. And like, looking back, I wouldn't have been happy with myself if I was him either, you know, that way. Like, so that's why me and my dad clashed, because my dad gave me boxing. My dad always said, like, you're a good boxer, like, stick at it and blah, blah, blah. He used to be in the gym then. Funny enough, the gym where he used to train was in the back of my school. So when I used to get off school, like, I used to see my dad a lot. But at the time, me and my dad weren't speaking, like, and shit. And like, I'd be in there was Astro tours in the school. So I'd be in the Astro tour smoking weed, and my dad would be just across from me looking at me like, little bastard, like, is he for real? Like, and I just didn't care. You know, like, I thought I was a man at 15. I was milfed out. I thought I was a man. I was doing my own thing. And as much as, like, all that is, it's mad. It was mad times in my life, but it's made me appreciate every day that I'm living now and who I am and what I am. And because I had it, like, rough at times, now I appreciate the good times. You know that way? You need it. It's almost like,
grateful for it.
I'm a lot more grateful for where I'm at today. And then the thing is like, I got an opportunity. Boxing just kept appearing in my life. Like, I moved to Australia to get away from all those charges and stuff like that. I was like, oh, I need to bail before I get actually done for one of these.
And you turned professional there.
Yeah, I turned professional there then, yeah. And that's where it all started. So I always will have that love for Australia in my heart, you know, because it changed my life. It showed me that, like, people can actually work where I'm from. It was just, there was nothing else to do but smoke weed and do drugs and be involved in stupid things. Like, whereas when I went to Australia, it just opened my eyes to the world. I was like, wow, people can actually work and make a good living as well. Didn't think this was possible. It's mad.
Wow.
I was just a product of my environment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now I'm making sure I'm always around positive people. I'm always around good people. Because again, show me your friends and show you your future. So I'm just trying to be around the most positive people as I possibly can.
Well, you just spoke about your dad. I wanted to ask you, you said that there was something your dad told you. He said that if there's going to be an altercation, you might as well be first.
Yes, I said that in a different interview, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. I watched all your interviews before this. I did my research. But
my dad was a product of the streets as well.
Is that all Irish people, or do all Irish parents say that to their kids? You might as well be first?
Nah, I think it was just where we were from, I think, to be honest, Yeah, like that. I was a product of my environment, but my dad grew up in the same environment. You know what I mean? Like when it's probably a lot of people in Dublin, because there's a lot of fights and stuff like that. You're gonna be in an altercation sooner or later if you're from Dublin. That way you need to be able to hold your own a little bit. And if you're not the thing is, like, it's almost like survival of the fittest there. That way. So my dad, my dad used to always say that. And then I remember my uncle used to always say, the uncle that passed away, used to always say, I'd rather be trialed by 12 than carried by 6. I'd rather
say it again.
I'd rather be trialed by 12 than carried by 6.
Oh, I see.
So, like, these are all the environments. These are all, like, the shit I was, like, it was all engraved in me, you know what I mean? As a kid, like, this was all the type of stuff that was, like, bred into me. So I always had that, like, fighter mentality. Like, it's like survival of the fittest out here. Like, I'm not going to be the one laying down. I'm not going to be the one that's going to take a punch first. And I actually remember when my dad said that to me, if it's going to be an altercation, make sure you're first. I remember even the bench that was out my back, the bench I was sitting on when my dad told me that. And I remember being like, sweet. Me, in my own head, my such young, volatile mind, I was thinking, that means if there's ever a fight and it kicks off first, my dad have
swing first.
Not my dad. Like, I just say, Dad, you told me if you think shit's gonna kick off, like, to go. So, like, what do you want me to do?
Yeah.
I knew I had permission to fight them, basically.
You had him on your side.
In my head. And then I remember there was so many things, like, I was taught growing up that, like, I wouldn't teach my kids now because I'm not in the same environment that I got brought up in. That way? Like, so, like, my kids don't really need to know these things, but where I'm from, I needed to know all these things. You know what I mean? We needed to be it's survival of the fittest out there. Like, it's like a fucking jungle. Like, when you're in that, like, I remember where I grew up was, like, a lot of horses, fucking a lot of bleeding, like, robbed cars, burned cars. Like, people were just robbing cars for, like, just for the laugh, to like rally the cars around and, like, just show off, basically. Like, just, it was a mad, like, everyone was jockeying around on horses, like, bareback and stuff. It was like fucking the Wild West. Like, there's no rules where I'm from. You know what I mean? It was a mad place, to be honest.
I would have never guessed that you're from that type of environment, because you always look like you're a very happy person. Even in the ring, you look like you're having a good time. I even thought you enjoyed the altercations you have with other fighters, because you're always smiley about it.
Yeah, I do enjoy it.
Oh, you do? You still enjoy the altercations?
Yeah, I fucking embrace it, because one thing about boxing, about life, is that, like, for me, right, I'll tell you the truth, actually. When my mom died, everything else became boring to me. There was nothing that used to excite me. When someone's going on holidays and all that shit, like, I didn't give a fuck. I was, like, a bit depressed at the time, and I was like, I just didn't care about life. And boxing was the only thing that gave me adrenaline rush. So then I started chasing the adrenaline high like a fucking drug. So when I used to get into an altercation, you just know that, like, adrenaline rush. And you're like, oh. So I didn't mind fighting. I didn't mind, like, that type of shit, because it took me away from the shit I was going through in my head. Sometimes when you're going through that, like, mental struggle, you want outside. You have a bit of fight with someone. It takes your mind off the shit that you're going through personally, and you're more focused on, like, that living in the moment. And I used to love living in the moment. So now I enjoy an altercation with someone, because I'm like, I don't ever pre-plan what I'm going to say, because I'm like, live in the moment, just appreciate the moment. And I think if everyone now, like, So just for an example, if you're depressed, it's because you're living in the past. If you're anxious, it's because you're living in the future. You're worried what may happen or may not. But if you're present, you are very happy, like so content I am. So I try to live in the present always, because, and then when I'm in the present and like an altercation is kicking off, the adrenaline's pumping.
You have no choice but to be right in the present, right in the present.
But to be in the present, because you don't know what's going to happen there and then. And I kind of like that, like not knowing what's going to happen, bit of excitement. You know what I mean? Because nothing
You're a
else.
dark man.
No, yeah, I know. And you know what? It's like I can pull that darkness out whenever I need to. Like, because the shit I've been through, it's like, I don't know. Like I love adrenaline, but I don't mind going into the heat of battle. Like I don't mind, because I'm like, now you're living. Because everything else in the world to me seems a bit boring and like pre-planned, and like, you know, I'm going on a holiday. Like my missus like gets excited about going on holidays and shit, and I'm like, I just don't care. Like I know I'm gonna enjoy it. I'm gonna have fun. I'm not like, but I don't like get excited. Like the only thing that excites me is probably fighting, which obviously that does. But getting in altercations even before the fight and getting like chased by the police, like whatever, where you don't know what's gonna be the outcome. It's the only excitement that I feel. Like that's how fucked up my mentality is. Like, because of the shit I was brought up with. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, I hope you're not getting chased by the police anytime soon.
not anymore. No, I don't mess with that stuff anymore. But that's the thing. Like, I'm, as much as I'm on such a good path and such a good, like, I love that adrenaline rush as well. At the same time, that living in the moment. So I'm always trying to better myself while things are going good. I'm always trying to better myself, because somebody like me, it's very easy to slip back into the past. You get me? It's very easy to slip back into that streets mentality, because that's what I grew up on. Now, listen, I know I'm never falling back into that, because I have a beautiful family. I'm very privileged to be where I'm at now. But people like me, and I say like me because a lot of them haven't got the bleeding mental capacity to forget about the streets and focus on the future and focus on what's the best outcome for their life and everything else. Whereas I do, I know I'm not stupid. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I know that's not a route I want to go down. A lot of my family went down that route, like, you know what I mean? So I don't want to go down that type of route. But like, for people like me who got brought up on the streets is like, it's, you know what I mean? That's like home.
That's just how it is. Yeah.
That's just how it is.
It defines your logic.
Well, the thing is, it's like it's mentally at their ingrained in itself through your trauma as kids and stuff, and all the stuff you're seeing as kids. Like, I think it's now, they say, from 1 to 4 or 1 to 5 is like where most pathways in your brain is like develops, and that's more or less like if you're rich, if you come from a rich family, you know what I mean? That's the person you're gonna be. And when I was growing up like that, I had mad things like happen in my life, like,
you saw all sorts of shit.
yeah, I've been in houses when the house got raided and the doors getting kicked down, and I'm like, I just, you know, I lived through it all, like, and I've seen it all, and I witnessed a lot. I witnessed a lot of mad shit growing up. And as much as all that, like, to some people might seem like bad, it was all like, as a kid, it was fun to me, as fucked up as that sounds. And I know, because I'm grown now, I would not want my kid to witness or see any of this, because my kid would be traumatized, because she doesn't come from that life. But I did come from that life. You know what I mean? So like, I used to love it. It was fucked up.
Man, I'm glad you turned out all right.
Yeah, mate. I used to say, like, that's what I mean. I didn't care about living or dying. Like, I used to say, like, when I was a kid, like, when you asked me, this is a perfect example. And a girl used to babysit me. Between our name is lovely, lovely woman. I still always keep in contact. She's like family to me. She used to say, like when I was a kid, and somebody like, what do you want to be when you're older? I used to be like, I want to be a robber. Like, as a kid, I wanted to be a robber. I wanted to rob cars, and I wanted to, because that was the environment I was in. You know what I mean? Like,
it was appealing to you.
Yeah, I was just immune to it. You know, like, it was like, that was the product of my environment, and I just sapped it all up. You know what I mean? I didn't care. I didn't care about anything. Even now, like, I'm winning in boxing. I always say it, like, I'm winning in boxing because I didn't choose to be a boxer. So no matter what the outcome is, I'm always winning, because boxing saved me from the streets, saved me from getting arrested. Because sooner or later I was gonna get locked up. Like, all my family, like, has done time at some stage or another. Actually, one of my uncle, nah, the all done time. I was gonna say one of my uncles didn't, but he got locked up for a serious charge. He never got done for it, but he got accused of it. But like, you know what I mean? Like crazy charges, crazy charges. Like I used to see like loads of my family members coming in and out of jail. Even to this day, still have like uncles and that go in and out of jail and stuff. And it's just like, uh, he's in court again, is he this week? He's in, you know, I'd be talking to my nanny on the phone, and it's four sons, my dad's brother, like, and I'd be just like, here, I'm not going to say his name, but what's thing up to these days? And there's always a story. Like, there's always a story. Like, it's always, oh, he's in court, or the police was at the door the other day, or there's this or that. Or, like, still to this day, like, it's just my family. It's mad.
Man, well, I mean, they made you who you are. So
yeah,
you
and
gotta
that's
be
what I
proud
mean
of it to
about
a certain
boxing.
extent.
That's the whole the whole thing about fighting and embracing the fight game. Is like, I don't care about fighting. You know, like some people are afraid of fighting, but like, what's the worst outcome? You lose. Yeah, so what? I don't fucking care about a loss. A little number on a bleeding piece of paper on a box rack or something. I don't care. Like that doesn't bother me. Like I'm getting paid to fight. Like, so what? I'm gonna give it my all. I only don't care about if I don't perform at my best because I let myself down. If I'm not doing the hard work and then I don't perform, I'm like, that's what kind of annoyed me with the Maxi Hughes thing. I cruised through that fight thinking I was winning it, and I just didn't put the foot down because I thought I won the fight. I was just like in cruise control. That annoyed me a little bit, so I won't let that happen again. You know what I mean? So little things like that would bother me, but like I don't care. Like on the streets, I was getting bleeding chased with knives. So I was getting like could have died in the altercations I was in on the streets. So like when I get into a boxing ring, I'm like, there's rules and regulations here. Yeah, okay, great. I'm not gonna die. I don't give a fuck. I don't fear the boxing. I love it.
Do you know who you were fighting December 11th?
So I got originally I had a guy, and he pulled out like 2 days ago. So that finding somebody else there, I think who was accepted the fight. He's like 20 wins, 17 knockouts, and like 4 losses, something like that. I only got sent up. I got sent to me last night. So I just even the matchmakers, like even this for an example, like I was in the gym yesterday and the matchmakers they sent it to me yesterday, and I was like, I just left my voice message back. I was like, I don't care to be honest, because he was like, is this person all right? Like, do you want this fight? Like, do you accept this fight? Basically, you were saying. I was like, mate, I don't care. I was like, I'm in the gym right now. I was like, just if my team says it's all right, I was like, then trainer says all right, then yeah, like just go. I don't really care. I'm a fighter. It's not my job to matchmake. Fucking whoever, I don't care. Like those, and he just sent back a lot of laughing faces and like was like, okay, basically. But even like that, like I don't care how we fight. Like it's like that's not my job. My job is to fight. I'm gonna fight. My team, that's my team's job. You know what I mean? Whereas some fighters are like they look up people and they're like, oh, that's gonna be a hard one, and that's I'm like, yeah, I don't care. If it's hard, it's hard. If it's hard, give me good money. That's all I want.
Good, man. I mean, so what do you hope to accomplish with Pro Bellum?
Nothing.
You just signed with them. What's different about
This card, I don't really know if there's gonna be a signing or anything. If I get a signing fee, shit, there'll be a signing. But like I don't know yet. You know what I mean? I didn't see there was a signing. So we still have to go over things. I just know I'm fighting on that card. So we'll see how I perform. If I perform good and they want to sign me, then happy days. But for me, it's like, again, I don't care like where I fight, when I fight. Like I'm just a boxer. I'm just a fighter. If the check is right, I'll fucking fight with anybody.
That's good to hear, man. Jono, I just got told that we're running out of time, but I want to play a game with you right before you leave. I'm going to name fighters, and you're going to describe them with one word or one sentence. All right, we're going to start with some Irish fighters. You ready? Carl Frampton.
A legend of Irish boxing. Sorry, you
Gary
just said one.
Oh, no. One word or one sentence. All good. All good. Gary O'Sullivan.
Crazy. Fucking crazy, man.
Conor McGregor.
Seriously, big ego.
Big ego. James Power, the youngster.
Sorry, I don't know. I'm brutal.
Yeah, I'll cross that out. I won't let him.
I'll see it. I know him, but I'm brutal.
I'll cut that out. Michael Collin.
Legend.
Amazing.
Good friend as well. I like Michael Collin. He's a fucking legend of a man. I have a lot of respect for him. Standing up what he done in the Olympics. There's not, you know what? I'm gonna go on a rant here because whatever about the one fucking thing. I know it's a game and all, but Michael Collin, fair play to him for standing up because that man got robbed, and a lot of people were just bent over and took what was given to him.
What was given? Absolutely.
Stood up for himself. Like myself, he spoke his mind whenever he feels like it. Mike Collin, I hope him nothing
Hats off
but
to
the
you,
best
my
in
man.
the world. Yeah, he's a fucking legend of a man. Fair play to him.
Yeah.
I have a lot of
I
respect.
got two
for
more
him,
to you.
whole family.
I got two more for you. So I got Anthony Fowler.
I don't know what you want me to say about Andy Fowler. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like he's a nice guy. But like, I don't know.
Tyson Fury.
Tyson Fury is a beautiful soul, a beautiful, tormented but beautiful soul. He's like myself. He's be dealing with a lot of demons in there, and he's trying to keep the reins on it all. And he's doing a great job at the minute. So hats off to him as well. Like, I love Tyson Fury. He's a man of the people. True
Amazing.
king, a true king.
The Gypsy King.
The Gypsy King is right.
Jono, thank you so much for your time. I really, really appreciate it.
My pleasure. I'm glad we could finally do it after all the rigmarole.
Yeah, it was a nightmare.
It was fun though. While it lasted, it was fun.
I can't wait to have you back on. Maybe after December 11th.
Yes, sounds like a plan to
After
me.
you fight. All right, guys. Yeah, enjoy the sun. Follow my man, Jono King Kong Carroll on Instagram, or as always, I'll knock you out. Peace.